So I've been wanting to talk about this for quite some time. Like ever since Recreators got over, really. That's essentially when I really wanted to start to talk about this, but I could never really gather my thoughts. And the title does not deceive you, obviously. Why don't antagonists really ever win in anime? And I think that's a question for any kind of type of media, not just anime, live action, Hollywood movies, Hollywood TV shows, any kind of show. And I thought about it. It's like, well, let's look at Recreators. The first thing is they have to have a logical reason. They have to have a reason for us to, kind of sympathize with them and kind of embrace their reasoning behind that sympathy that, resides within their character. So let's just take a look at Altair from Recreators. She was a character that we could sympathize with. Sure, your creator was just thrown aside like trash. She was belittled by people that were her fans. Matter of fact, they weren't even her fans because they were fake fans. They belittled her for false reasons. Did they deserve punishment? Sure. I could have got behind that. Soda? Sure. I could have got behind him meeting his demise and got what was coming to him. Sure. That could be something that I could believe in. But destroying the whole world, that was something that, we could not fall into that trap that Altair was, trying to make us fall into. Not the whole world deserved to be destroyed because of that. And the next thing is, can you make us like the character? And you see how we could like Altair, Altair very, very easily, but we could not like her reasonings. We could sympathize with her. We could do all these things, but destroying the whole world because of one girl, and, the matter of fact, she gave her life up because of a certain X amount of people. And it wasn't the whole world that belittled her. X amount of people did. Maybe that group of people meeting their demise by your hands, sure. But even then, that's really kind of far-fetched. You know what I'm saying? But now here's the tricky part. The protagonist. What about the protagonist, Hex? What about the protagonist? That's the thing. The protagonists are going to be the ones usually on the screen more often than not. And the protagonists are supposed to be the good guys, and it's hard to write a story about good guys having bad intentions. That's something that's really, really hard to do. And you have to, and that's the thing. If we don't like the protagonist, usually that's how you have to write a story from their, mostly their point of view. They're the ones getting the screen time most of the time. You have to make us dislike them, dislike their reasoning. And I think a show that did that, the closest thing to that was ReZero. But at the same time, ReZero made us love / hate Subaru. It's as if he is a brother to us. He did, they give us so many different kind of emotions and different kind of looks and personalities through, from that character that we loved him. We ended up loving him doing that. So you see, you can make us dislike a character, but in the end, we still may end up loving that character. So it's just really difficult to even do that. Can you make us hate him and not love him? Can you get past, bypass the love-hate relationship with that character? Because we're going, you have to make us understand said characters. You can't just have protagonists that don't have any kind of depth to them, layer to them. They're just doing something just to do it, because then you're not going to have a good story. You need protagonists that you dislike but don't like their reasoning for doing something, and you need an antagonist that you do like. You do respect the reasoning, you do sympathize with them, you do understand why they're trying to destroy the world in which they live in, and that's hard to do. I have never seen a show do that. Once again, like I said, ReZero Subaru, they made us somewhat like, I don't know if I want to say hate, but it really made us, the audience, feel as if he was a piece of garbage per se. But yet, we still loved him and we rooted for him. And I think the biggest thing is, can you make us protagonists that we don't agree with, but we don't still love and root for and want to have development? We just want them to lose, flat out. And that's something that's really hard to do, and that's why you don't see it that often. But as always, guys, you guys have been hexed. I love to know your thoughts on this conversation here. I mean, this is an interesting one. I hope I explained it as clear as I could. I mean, if you guys don't think I did, leave down in the comments below. Say, hey, Hex, can you run that back real quick and try to explain that a little bit better? Maybe I will make a part 2 to this, and kind of like a revision per se, a revision video. I'm not afraid to do that if I must. But as always, guys, you guys have been Hex. Be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and follow me on Twitter, X25, and check out my Patreon if you do want to support what I do here. See you guys next time. Peace. Thanks for watching, guys.